In some ways, you can't help but you kind of feel sympathy for JD Vance having to defend Donald Trump, who he himself openly denounced. It's kind of like being Diddy's defense attorney, you know?
Kristen, I think that I've learned my lesson on speaking for the president before he and I have actually talked about an issue.
So he would veto a federal abortion ban?
I think he would. He said that explicitly, that he would.
Would you veto a national abortion ban if it
Well, I won't have to.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, JD Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with JD at all.
Buckle up, because Jimmy Kimmel just delivered a late-night takedown so brutal, JD Vance might need a map to locate his dignity. This wasn't just any roast. Kimmel went straight for Vance's political flip-flops, his lack of principles, and his relentless MAGA pandering, tearing through them with pinpoint accuracy. Each punchline hit like a knockout blow, exposing the hypocrisy Vance had been hiding. By the time Kimmel finished, Vance's reputation was left in smoldering ruins. You won't want to miss how Kimmel tore him apart, piece by humiliating piece.
Celebrated his Zelensky sucker punch with a ski trip. The Vance traveled to the Sugarbush Resort, which coincidentally, Sugarbush is also JD Vance's Secret Service code name. But Vance, I think he picked the wrong state to relax in, because when he got to Vermont, he was greeted by hundreds of protesters.
If you're enjoying, please subscribe. And by the way, we have Trump merch available for a limited amount of time. The link can be found in the description.
Let's talk about JD Vance, a man so committed to reinventing himself that he makes shapeshifters, chameleons, and method actors look like amateurs. At this point, if he flipped any harder, he'd be in line for Olympic gymnastics. Not that long ago, JD was strutting around as the intellectual cowboy of middle America, an outspoken Yale graduate and best-selling author who had no issue calling out Trump with razor-sharp precision. He was supposed to be the voice of reason, the conservative outsider who spoke truth to power, while still keeping a little grit under his fingernails.
After last night with the crowning of Donald Trump's MAGA movement heir apparent. No, not that guy. No. There you go. The other dark-haired, bearded dude right in front of that one, JD Vance. I gotta tell you something, man. That ain't right. It's like for vice president, Donald selected the actor who would be hired to play Don Jr. in the Lifetime movie.
Fast forward to today, and what do we get? The exact same guy, now so contorted into a full-blown Trump cheerleader that you'd almost expect him to show up at Mar-a-Lago in a cheerleading uniform. It's not even subtle. The transformation is so dramatic, so total, it could have its own Marvel origin story. Step aside, Bruce Banner. This is the tale of the incredible shrinking backbone.
His comments yesterday to the National Association of Black Journalists, where he said that Vice President Harris is, quote, all of a sudden black. As a father of 3 biracial children, did those comments give you pause at all?
They don't give me pause at all. Look, all he said is that Kamala Harris is a chameleon. She goes to Georgia 2 days ago. She was raised in Canada. She puts on a fake Southern accent. She is everything to everybody, and she pretends to be somebody different depending on which audience she's in front of. I think it's totally reasonable for the president to...
And then there's Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, Kimmel saw that political 180 and thought, yeah, let's dive into that disaster. Because JD's flip-flop isn't just a minor change of heart, it's the political equivalent of selling your soul at a yard sale and tossing in your self-respect for free. Kimmel wasted no time lighting up the whole thing, scorching it to a crisp.
Trump's running mate, Maybelline brand ambassador JD Vance, he enjoys taking questions from the press at his appearances so the crowd can boo the reporters. I guess that's fun for him. So at a campaign stop in Detroit, a reporter asked him about these calls with Putin, and JD doesn't seem to have any problem with them at all.
Vance once described Trump as a corrosive force, a threat to democracy, and unfit for office. He didn't hold back. He had a front row seat at the anti-Trump roast, voicing criticism at every turn. But somewhere along the way, he figured out that no political book deal comes without paying homage to the MAGA agenda. It was like he suddenly fell under a Make America Great Again spell. All that intellectual posturing vanished. The moral high ground he once stood on, gone, and here we are.
The biggest problem with Trump, and there are many, many things to pick out, but my biggest problem with Trump is that his message to the right, especially the white working class of which I came from, is anti-conservative and in some ways anti-American. It's fundamentally that the deck is so stacked against you that unless I'm the president, nothing that you do will change your life's outcomes. I think it's wrong, and I think it's very self-destructive. And so one of the takeaways is not just that the Republican Party base is somehow fundamentally flawed in a way that's unique, in American political history, it's that Trump is a really bad candidate, and frankly, I think a really bad one.
Kimmel went all in, roasting Vance for his political about-face, comparing it to watching someone trade in their spine for a loyalty badge. Each jab landed harder because, well, it's true. JT didn't just pivot. He flat out ditched every principle he once touted, stuffed them into an MAGA hat, and now marches in lockstep behind the very man he once warned America about. It's almost poetic. Here's JD Vance, the once defiant voice, now reduced to nodding along as Trump stumbles through interviews, rants about crowd sizes, and rage posts at 3 a.m. Vance's whole persona has become nothing more than Trump's emotional support animal, ready to bark on command whenever the orange overlord throws a tantrum. Honestly, at this point, someone should check if he's got a property of Mar-a-Lago stamp on his forehead. Kimmel didn't even need to stretch for material. It's like the script wrote itself. How does someone go from fierce critic to sycophantic yes man without breaking a sweat? Simple. Sell out, pretended strategy, and hope no one notices. Except, of course, everyone noticed, especially Jimmy. And let's not forget the irony. Vance built his whole brand tearing down the exact kind of hollow political grifters he's now emulating. Watching him cling to Trump like a lifeboat is like watching a guy desperately trying to rewrite his Wikipedia page in real time. While the receipts are everywhere, Kimmel made sure those receipts were on full display.
Be your next Vice President of the United States. And I'm incredibly honored to stand here and ask you for your vote and ask you for your hard work. But if we win, and I believe that we are going to win in 33 days, my friends, I feel very confident about it.
Do we have a president? He just got back from California. He was supposed to go to the White House. He never got there. He went to Delaware, and he's laying on a beach sleeping all day long. No, seriously, who the hell wants to sleep? And who wants to sleep in public? He's sleeping. Do you think President Xi of China is at a beach sleeping? Do you think Kim Jong-un is sleeping from North Korea with his nuclear weapons all over the place? They don't sleep so much. Did you see Barack Hussein Obama last night? Taking little shots. He was taking shots at your president.
It's not just hypocrisy, it's performance art at this point. And the fact that JD thinks no one remembers his old quotes, interviews, or righteous indignation. That's the funniest part. The internet never forgets JD, and neither does Jimmy Kimmel. Of course, this caught Kimmel's attention. What else are you supposed to do when a Yale-educated Silicon Valley tech investor suddenly starts talking like he was raised inside a Bass Pro Shop, baptized in Bud Light, and raised on Fox News soundbites? You roast him, publicly, viciously, and relentlessly. And Kimmel didn't hold back. He practically called in a comedy demolition crew and bulldozed JD Vance's entire rebrand right there on national television. It's like JT woke up one morning, looked in the mirror, and thought, you know what get me votes? Pretending I spent my childhood chewing tobacco while rebuilding carburetors. Never mind the fact that he spent most of his career in boardrooms, not backwoods. Jimmy saw right through it. He's got a radar for political cosplay, and JD's new persona set it off like a 5-alarm fire.